Hey, it's me again, Cubic, or for this I'd actually prefer Vadim, because it's a bit more personal. So, this isn't anything SFM related, or animation related in general. If you're on the channel just for that, then, that's good. You pick what you like, but, you should probably click off, because this is something else. This is really just me reflecting and rambling. Yeah, 2019's been a interesting year. Say that. Yeah, but a lot of people would probably say how fast everything's been again. Because people always say the same things. How fast it's been, and, feels like it only began. Yeah, that's good. It's good that they say that. I mean, that means they had a good time with it. That's really good. Seriously, I don't want to say that the year has been horrible or anything. I certainly know a lot of people who had a lot of luck with it. And again, fantastic for them. Seriously. Wish them the best of luck. But for me, that's a different story. It's kind of an interesting thing because I've always had a bit of a problem with let's just call it depression. I think depression is probably the most fitting word. As much as I hate saying it, it's probably the best word for that. There's no way going around it, is it? And particularly, I had an even bigger problem probably with self-hatred, which I find both fascinating and, well, makes me hate myself even more. Interesting thing. You're the main character of your own story. So, it's your own story. You can do it almost wherever you want. But you also hate that character. You hate the main character of the story that you are witnessing, that this is your story. It's not like in a movie where you can just, turn the damn thing off. Excuse me. No, you're stuck with the guy. And no matter what you do, you just want to beat him up. No matter in what regard. Looks, work, acts, what he says, what he doesn't say. Seriously, and the worst part is sometimes that actually kind of reflects on other people. I'm gonna be honest, it's pretty common. I think that just everyone kind of hates me but doesn't have the heart for it to say it. Which, deep inside myself, I probably know that probably isn't true. I know that. Doesn't stop me thinking it. It's not because anyone else, not because someone did something or didn't do something or God knows what. No, it's because of stuff I do. Because I think I act a little bit out of the norm. And everything you say, every time you say something to a friend, you immediately just think, well, that person goddamn despises me now. It's an interesting thing. Yeah, I've always had problems with that, but the past, 2 years, maybe even 2.5, let's say that, I could not hide it anymore. I was trying to hiding it, not really because I thought anyone would bring me down for it. No, I knew the people who I was talking to, and they were always supportive, but I just don't want anyone to feel bad for me, really. It's always bad, for example, asking people for help. I'm always horrible at that, because I really just don't want anyone wasting their time on me. Yeah, it sounds stupid even as I say it, but, and if you've been in contact with me, if anyone actually watches this, which, Not sure how to feel about that. A friend would watch this thing, but you know, it is what it is. You'd probably know how much I talk about it, and I'm still incredibly sorry for that. There's no way of getting around it. Just, I'm still sorry. I know I've apologized for it for God knows how many times, but yeah, I'm just still very, very sorry. So there's multiple reasons why these past 2 years, and especially probably this one, has been, you know, showing everything from the inside that's been going on in my head. Most particularly probably the fact that I moved. So, little explanation. I'm German. No? The name might confuse you. That just, you know, I have Ukrainian parents. Just don't ask. That's what you get. But yeah, I'm German. We grew up in a pretty shitty place. Excuse me for the swear. Excuse me. Try not to swear today. It's a bit of a, it's a reflection video, not me rambling. There's a difference. Oh. But, then we moved once, and we moved to another place where I wouldn't say I was happy, because there was probably never a point where I was actually happy. More of a feeling of glad and very, very thankful, because I've seen what, you know, the other side is. I'm saying I wasn't really happy because, I mean, look, I was happy with the place. I was happy with my friends, I was happy with the school and everything. It's a really good place. I'm still visiting it. Might come back to it in a few months for a few days. So I've always, like I said, tried to hide it, which is why I was never really happy. I'm a pessimistic son of a gun. I'll say that. There's really not much positive there. I mean, not liking motivational quotes is one thing. I'm the kind of guy to do that. I love joking about them, but I mean, that's one thing. For me, it's whole different direction. Well, so then, after a few years, we moved again. A change that I was completely against. A change that was made way too fast and was made by a certain person in my family who well, let's just say I'm not on the best terms with her. It's not my mother, I'll say that, just so I don't want any theories for this to come up, but if you know me, you might know who I'm talking to. About, sorry. So yeah, in the second week where we arrived here, we realized, wow, this place is horrible. Well, you know, my parents realized. My cat as well. I was saying it from the start, that, hey, we should not do this. This is a horrible, horrible idea. Yeah, well, now we're stuck here. And, I don't want to say that everyone in this place is, you know, horrible and just being anything or disrespectful. I don't want to say that everyone is, because there's certainly good people here. Same with the place where I grew up with. There's definitely good people there. I know them. Like, I mean, you know, you should never really be that general. But I can't really speak for the majority of people I met here, because they've been... It's a mixture of ignorant, disrespectful, and sometimes just mean. And sometimes they can't really do anything about it because something something messed up happened in their life probably too. That just kind of messed them up in the later parts. But doesn't help what's now happening, does it? The school is interesting. I've got my opinions about that school. I'm not gonna get into it because this would go from what I already think a pretty lengthy video is gonna be to holy hell. Let's just say this entire place and the school and the people gave me so much stress that about a week after my birthday I had a heart attack. Not a big one, pretty minor one, but still a pulse of a grand 190, which is unpleasant to say the least. Kind of feels like a jackhammer pounding your chest from the inside. The hospital wasn't really making anything better. The people in the ambulance were acting more like I was a guy who just kind of destroyed a coffee break instead of a guy who is kind of in panic right now. Because he's never actually had a goddamn heart attack with a pulse of 190. Goodness. That hasn't happened since, then. Sometimes there were a few spikes. We kind of found out that the stress has been kind of destroying my heart rate, which is always a pleasant thought. There's been a few spikes to 140, 150. I'm probably at a recent time as well, but I haven't been noticing it as much or paying attention to it. Most likely because I'm goddamn used to it at this point. And there's other stuff that happened. Like, me kind of having a bit of a breakdown. I think that was July that happened. Early July. No. Early June. That's what that was. That was... yeah. Last week of school in June. Or the week before that. I know, I don't want to get into details, but it was somewhere in there. I was alone. In the house. Parents were working. The cat was asleep. And suddenly, I get this unsustainable urge. There's this rage and emptiness. I don't really even know if I can describe it. It's really what appears to be a mental breakdown. It's supposed to be. And I go to the bathroom and, well, I almost did it. If I had not been a second probably faster in my thinking, or making a bit of a different decision, probably would not be here. I mean, I wouldn't be anywhere but in a morgue with a slit. I'll say that. You people probably know what I'm talking about. Thankfully that hasn't happened since either, for a few reasons. Here's the thing. I always say that you should always be thankful if you have people to support you. Always. No matter what. And I did thank the main people who did that. I still talk to a lot. About a few days now. That was the day before Christmas I did that. Christmas, also just anything. I'll get to it later. So I did thank him. Responses were a treat sometimes. Well, all of the time. There were a lot of compliments from me as well, but I don't really think I deserve any of them. But hey, I'm the guy with self-hatred. What can I say? So the reason why I did not off myself. Even though I'll say this, there's been certainly tendencies. There's definitely been tendencies for it. But there's reasons why I didn't do it, and I'm still here. Here's the thing. I don't really care what happens to me. I've noticed that it doesn't really matter to me anymore if something good happens. If something bad happens, then well, I got even more reason to complain about that. But if something good, then it's just kind of, well, hey, it's not trash for its change. It's weird, but I always get a just extreme, ridiculously large grin on my face every time I see someone else that I know, or sometimes even don't know, having a good time. Just like a good friend of mine getting a good grade in an exam, or another girl that I'm good friends with. She had 2 years anniversary with her boyfriend earlier, I think October. Again, that stuff just, my day could have been trash, could have been garbage up to that point. And I see that and I think, well, everything's fine again. And I see they're happy. It's kind of an interesting thing. So the reason why I still haven't offed myself is I don't want to ruin anyone's day. I really don't. And even though I'd be the last to really care that I am not here anymore. I got a bit of a death wish at this point. We'll get to that later. Yeah, I'm not really afraid of death anymore. It's messed up to say, but I can't say anything else anymore. I know there's people who probably would care, and their heart would probably be broken if they found out that I wasn't really here anymore. So it's kind of the reason why I held off on it. Goodness. So yeah, there's certainly been some ups and downs this year. Definitely more downs than ups. Well, that's obvious. Last Christmas, we didn't really have anything Christmassy. My dad's not here. He's in Ukraine with his parents. Good for him. He only appears on New Year's Eve. Probably when I release this, he might be back again. Not sure when I'm gonna do this. I'm recording this on the 27th. So, planning to not do it on the 31st because I really don't want to bug anyone with a video that takes I don't know how long. Like New Year's Eve, or the day that New Year's Eve happens, it's probably the 30th. If I get to make whatever stuff I'm gonna put in the video. I mean, there's gonna be just me talking and music in the background, as you probably hear it. I'm not sure what I'm gonna put in the actual visual part. Probably just SFM posters or something, or drawings. I have an Instagram, by the way. I draw stuff. I don't do it regularly. I think there's only 3 posts, and the first one was like last year Christmas. But it's a thing. So yeah, it's only me, my mom, and my cat on Christmas Eve, and nothing. No table, no dinner. My mom just kind of fell asleep on the couch. I sat here on the PC, working on some stuff. Some stuff in SFM related. Was playing. It was also very, very smart of me, playing a horror game and Winter Evil Within 2. Love the game, but horror game at Christmas time. That's very, very smart of me. All happened because everyone was just too tired to do anything, because let's just say I'm not the only one that didn't have the jolliest of years. Just gonna hope that New Year's Eve isn't gonna be the same. Just really hope that that's not gonna happen. Because if that happens, then I can say that the next year is probably gonna be a bit doomed. And considering it's the start of a new decade, yeah, we should try to, meet it with good respect and stuff. Which I also recommend for anyone who listens to this for some reason. It's gonna be a new decade soon. Think of what happened the past couple of years, and say hi to the new decade with respect and just with luck. I'll say that. I'm wishing everyone a lot of luck for the next year, because I've seen what can happen if you don't have enough luck for it. It's really the only thing that keeps us together at this point. Love and luck. Yeah, you're gonna be I'm not gonna debate which one of these more, keeps us together more. Maybe it's love, maybe it's luck. I don't know. I've had some ups and downs in my life, so hard to say for me. Yeah. So, I've talked about how thankful I am for friends who support me, or anyone really that supports me. It doesn't even have to be a friend. Really, I can just kind of meet someone and then we somehow get in a discussion and they find out about it and they're supportive. I'm thankful of that. It doesn't happen often, especially in this city, but sometimes. I've talked about that and how, I don't really care about what happens to me, but what happens to them, which certainly has, made me a paranoid of it sometime, definitely. Always kind of worrying about the other people more than about me. It's an interesting thing, especially when I'm in a family. I do have a sister, but we never really had a good relationship between each other. Well, at this point I kind of distanced myself from her, I'd say that. I don't think it's really a secret at this point. There's times where he comes to visit and we don't even say hi to each other, which is, yeah, it's a great brother and sister relationship right there. But I'll say this: if anyone watches this who might be going through a similar experience, first of all, again, be thankful. Just be thankful of what you have, and be thankful of the people who support you. Seriously, not everyone gets to have that luck. I'm thankful of it because, well, I know there's people who have even worse situations. They don't have anyone. And I certainly know a few of those people. But another thing, like I said, I talked about how I don't really care about what happens to me. Please don't do that. Seriously, don't do that. Just, if you happen to be in a similar situation just as me, or, self-hatred, depression, or that stuff, don't take me as a role model. Seriously, I'm dealing with it horribly. Right? Don't listen to advice how to deal with it by me, because I've been dealing with it horribly. Seriously, you should get help. You're a therapist. In some cases, that's the only thing that helps. I've been kind of thinking about it sometimes, and some friends, I don't know, recommended me. Excuse me. Well, they said it would be good for me, but it's great when you have social anxiety, and you're probably never gonna get yourself to do that. It's always a nice thing when you go in a crowd and every single little move of a muscle feels like you just did something. Every single look that someone gives you just thinks, oh, you screwed up. Yeah, everyone hates you now and just kind of thinks you're the weirdo. They're probably right. A lot of people hate me. They're probably right about it. I mean, again, I'm the guy with self-hatred. What can I say about it? And there's always people who just kind of make fun of you in the street, which is also an interesting thing. You don't know why, you know it's wrong, and you don't really listen to it, but there's always this kind of thing about it that maybe they're right. Maybe they are right about what they're saying, no matter how dumb it is. You know, screw whatever good things I've did that I know are good. Remember, on 20th, that was the last day of school, I remember giving I was driving with a bus, and I had money left. I'm walking on foot back home anyway, so there was a homeless guy, and, you know, what am I gonna do with the money? Even though I'm broke, he's a lot more broke. He's gonna need more. So, yeah, done that. Took a broom in the classroom and just kind of cleaned. Even though I know those are good acts, I still don't see myself as a good man. Never did. Never see myself as a good man or a good friend, really. No matter what I do. I don't know what I've been searching in my life so far. I don't know if it's happiness, or finding something that makes me believe in myself, like, I don't know, peaceful death? That certainly came across my mind someday. Not peaceful death like, hey, I'm feeling well, I'm gonna be a bar and with a family that loves me. No, I just want to know that when I bite the dust, that can be any time. Not suicide, but because that's the most unpeaceful death you can have. That's adrenaline, that's, ugh, no. Definitely not that. I just kind of want to know that everyone else is fine once I'm gone. I'm not really that old, and I'm pretty young. So probably not gonna happen that soon. But again, this is a messed up world, and anything can happen, so who knows? Might be in 80 years, might be tomorrow. Always a messed up thought to put in your head. Don't think about that. Sometimes it's a fun thing to think about, but well, it's never fun, really. What am I saying? Yeah. I mean, maybe not everything this year's been horrible or atrocious, really. There's certainly been good things. The channel's been doing somewhat well. I have a grand total of 29 subs, which is, I don't really care about that. I just like making my work. That's it. That's really the only thing I care about. And Ep 4 of Team Fortress did pretty well. Like, actually did really, really well, and that surprised me because I was moderately happy with it. There's certainly been things I could have done better. But yeah, Ep 5 is on the way somewhere. It's about halfway done. I kinda lost 3 months of work on Halloween, but that's okay. Not that I have just, look, I don't have anything else to do, so, you know, may as well remake those 3 months that I lost, and I'm actually successful in doing that so far. Yeah. How long have we been going now? 30 minutes, that's a long while. I'm not sure what I'm trying to do with this video. Probably just me rambling. Because, really, at some point that stuff's gonna have to leave my system anyway. It really does. It's just... there's no way getting around it. Again, if you're in a similar situation, talk about it. Seriously. And if you don't have anyone personally to support you, then goodness. It's okay if you have social anxiety or anything, or you're nervous or shy or whatever. I know that. But for Christ's sake, call a line. Call a helpline, or I don't know, go ahead. Just be sure to talk to someone who can actually support you. Yeah, that's really the only thing that's helping at this point. And it's either that, or you're gonna see a movie or a game or a show or whatever that somehow is gonna cure you, which that happens. That does certainly happen. Not that much, and I really wouldn't count on it. I've tried it. Nope, doesn't work. I've tried a lot of things. Most of the things didn't work. I'm not even sure if I want any of my friends to see this. I mean, it's an interesting thing, because every time I tell someone something about my personal life and how I've been feeling, it's kind of like, sure, you're getting a rock of your chest, or something heavy, but also you're adding another rock to the pile, because of course, well, you said it, and that person will support you now, but that person also knows you. That person knows it. It's just kind of... I remember when I was... back then when I was kind of hiding, and I was known as the guy who always drew stuff and animated stuff, and I was always just kind of the artist seeking something. Always making jokes or something. That was my reputation back then. I feel like I've kind of destroyed that at this point. I feel like I went from that to... hey, look, it's the guy who always talks about his problems and just kind of has a messed up life. Almost swore again. Excuse me, hey. I'm the kind of guy to always swear, so... if it pops out from here and there... apologies. You know. But yeah, it's an interesting thing. Well, I sat here now for, well, how long is it? 34 minutes now. Might cut a few of my weird pauses here and there, because I tend to do that a lot. Especially if you know me, you're probably used to it, but this is new for a more public thing, so, again, apologies for that. Excuse me for the voice crack, too. Sat here now for a while. I don't think I have much to say anymore, except, people, have a good year. I mean, well, what's left of it. Probably releasing this on the 30th. If this releases somehow the 31st because I can't time it correctly, then, well, you know, more to add to the pile of what to criticize in this video. Yeah. Have a good rest of the year. Meet the next one with vigor and respect. Have a good next decade. Be thankful of what you have. And seriously, just appreciate and cherish the moments you get. Because you never know. You never know what's gonna happen. Remember the old song, love me like there's no way tomorrow. Love me like there's no tomorrow. I always liked the song from back from Fallout New Vegas, but really just kind of realizing how accurate it is at this point. But yeah, people, have a good year. Meet the next one with vigor and respect, like I said. And this was me. And I hope we'll see each other next year. Maybe with Ep 5 or something else. See ya, people. Bye.